What's happening, lads? Hope you're all well. It is 20 to 9 a.m. in Ireland here, and we are starting our day right with an Animate and Silent Planet collab single. Now, this comes after the two bands posted to their socials a couple of days ago, which left a lot of people in speculation. They posted the artwork that you can see in the thumbnail of this video and possibly on screen when I'm reacting to it, I'm not sure. But they kind of posted that and then just didn't say anything. Both bands respectively posted the same image and both had like Bloom in Heaven, which is, of course, now we know, the split EP that the two bands are going to be doing, which is sick. A lot of people were saying co-headline tour, which is kind of what I thought it would be, because usually these things are just a bit of a disappointment. You're like, oh my god, collaboration, and then it's like, we have new merch together or something. You're just like, okay, it's cool, but like, really, a full post for this? Well, the EP is going to be called Bloom in Heaven, which obviously makes sense. Silent Planet's 2023 album was Super Bloom. 2023, Jesus Christ, it's 2012. And then Animate's Heaven album. So there's 3 songs from what I can see. Return to One, which is the one we're going to be checking out today. That's the only single that's dropped so far. All the Light is Gone and Armageddon Eyes. 3 tracks, both bands collaborating. I've had a look at the like credits on the Return to One track on Spotify, and a lot of people involved in the writing. So that can be a good thing or a bad thing sometimes. If there's a lot of, you know, cooks in the kitchen, whatever the fuck that expression is, it could potentially be an issue. But 2 incredible bands. I would imagine this is a lot of people's dream collab. So respect to both bands for even doing this, because both probably at the peak of their careers so far, and you know, hopefully it keeps going for them. So to come together and do something a little bit ballsy and a little bit, you know, left of field is very, very respectable. It's definitely a play for the fans. So I'm looking forward to checking this one out, lads. Return to One, Animate and Silent Planet. Let's go. Stop and be annoying. I am going to stop and be annoying. I'm going to bring the whole thing back. I was curious to see if this is going to be a case of one band goes, the other band kind of does like one track, then the other band does a second track, you know, kind of a cop out, you know, one of those where it's like, it's a split EP, but we're all just actually doing our own songs and we're just joining the EP together. This is actually like back and forth, which is, I'm so here for this. We actually only had a recent conversation on the Metal Roundup podcast with Anthony from Resolve, where we discussed like collaborations in metal and stuff, and it just got me thinking, man, I want more of that. And even when I checked out Older Days by Resolve, 1056 and Paleface Swiss, such a sick collab. I hope they do like videos and stuff around this where the two artists actually get in a room together and collaborate. I know Silent Planet are on tour at the moment, so maybe it's not going to happen, maybe it's already been done, who knows. But this is great. I like this already. Very chaotic start. We had Silent Planet, definitely a Silent Planet start. Then it got very like almost Thal-esque, some of like, maybe, what was the track from Heavener? I can't remember what the name of the song was, but it got like almost like Thal-esque, like the way Animate kind of incorporate that atmosphere and that like Thal style into their music for Animate's part. So straight away, within like 40 seconds, we've had both bands getting involved back and forth. So sick.
Can't you wait to fade with me?
Oh man.
And I've been drowning in the downpour of bleeding satellite. The persistence of your absence has left me staring through the...
Satisfying to land on that.
My evergreen, you're all seen. Weightlessness, would you fade with me? Oh, my evergreen, you're all seen. Weightlessness. Will I find you at the end? Flowers fill the space between our skin. Your palms held open to the sky, cradling the stars in permanence. Let the light sink in, suspended in my chest. Let the light sink in. Words are fade with me. Bound and
Oh man, it's so cool. Oh, that transition. That transition's gonna hit so fucking hard. All right, lads, let me start by saying that was a great blend of both bands' sounds. I've listened to, I would say, the majority of both bands' discographies. I've loved most of both bands' discographies as well. And I think that was a fucking unbelievable way to like blend the two. I was thinking it was gonna be one band does one track, the other band does the other track, and the other band does the other track, which to me would be a little bit like of a waste. Whereas they did not do that at all. They really took that approach of, this is a full-on collaborative project. We're all going to sit down in the room together and write. I don't know if they sat down in the room, but maybe even virtually. And each segment of the track will keep blending back and forth between the two. It was like hard to even differentiate which band was playing at certain moments. So they did that really, really well. In terms of this track, Return to One, which is the first of the 3 songs, which I believe will be dropping in the EP format on the 28th of March. Do not quote me on that. I just see that on Reddit. It may be completely wrong, but it does seem like quite a bit away for 2 more tracks to drop. I don't know, we'll get onto that. But in terms of this track, just right now, from what I've just heard, the bridge section on this track is by far my favorite part of this track. It kind of threw me off a little bit when Gareth came back in, because it was such an Invent Animate moment, or such an Invent Animate bridge, that I was like almost, oh, this is like an additional track off Heavener. And then Garrett did the call out for the breakdown or the climactic moment towards the end, which like kind of snapped me back out of it, which is really like interesting. And that's what's so fun about these collaborative EPs, and why I was mentioning that it's so good that they've actually blended everything, is because it makes the track so much more dynamic. Because like, for example, in an Invent Animate track, I would expect that to maybe go into a more like emotional crescendo, but instead it kind of went back to being Silent Planet, and a lot more heavy with Garrett's call out. So that is like a real like cool thing to have, and it will make this EP so much more dynamic and a lot more, I guess, interesting and entertaining to listen to, because you'll never really know which way it's going to go. Now, in saying that, my only hold up with this song, and I was ready to lock this in as like my track of the year when I heard that bridge, I was like, this bridge, because I know from listening to The Sun Sleeps As If I Never Was, when I first heard that track by Invent Animate, or the EP by Invent Animate, I didn't really love it at the start, but because I know how much that's grown on me, I heard that bridge and I was like, this is what I've been looking for a long time from Invent. It sounds like a return to The Sun Sleeps, very emotional, gonna get me in my feels, and the payoff is gonna be huge. Now, I think the payoff was good with Garrett coming in, but part of me just wanted that to be like a continuation where Marcus goes into some like soaring emotional crescendo moment towards the end, because it did really feel like it was going that way with the lead guitars coming in the back. So maybe that can be a fault of the collaborative side of things as well, where it's like you have to include each other in certain moments where maybe it doesn't feel necessary. But either way, I don't think it ruined it by any means. But I was fully ready. If Marcus went into some like big belting vocal run there at the end where all the guitars and the band come back in, or the two bands come back in, I would have lost my shit. So it didn't quite get me. It kind of edged me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, but still sick. And yeah, again, don't quote me, but I believe from what Reddit has said, it's the full EP, which is an extra 2 tracks, I believe, which it's due to drop on the 28th of March, which to me is quite strange because we're at like what, the 23rd of January, which is basically 2 months away, a little bit more than 2 months away. Now, if it was a full album, I'd understand. It's enough time to like maybe roll out a couple more singles, but I just hope they leave it as is now. Maybe drop the single with a video on the day the whole thing comes out. But if we get like another single and then they just drop an additional single on the day of the release for like the full EP, might be a bit disappointing. So maybe just leave. I don't know how it's going to work. Look, at the end of the day, I'm sure they've got something planned that will work. But this can be the case. It was like Northlane's Mirror's Edge EP. It felt like when the EP eventually dropped, it just felt a little bit like, oh, we've already heard all these songs, you know? Now, I know that's completely on me because I can just not listen to them and wait for the full thing to drop. But as someone who does this, you know, this is my fucking job to cover all this stuff and keep up to date with everything that's going on. I'm going to check it out. So I know it's on me, but like at the same time, also still just a fan, you know? So anyway, lads, that was very enjoyable. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What is your go-to? What is your collab that you'd love to see? I know a lot of people would probably have these two bands coming together as their like dream collab. So how do you feel after? Is it everything you ever imagined? Is it not what you imagined? Are you not enjoying it? Are you not feeling it? Do you think they could have done better? Do you think it's far gone past your expectations? Let me know in the comments, lads. That's all from me. I'm signing out. Look after yourselves. See you in the next one. Cheers.